Oh snap, look who decided to get ready for a video. Hi guys, it's Michaela. Welcome back to my channel. So today I am finally doing the long-awaited Q&A. Probably isn't long-awaited, but I promised it for like a month and a half now, maybe even 2. So we're finally doing it. The reason why is because the week that you are seeing this is my finals week. So I am trying to post something while I'm stressing out about finals. So if you're seeing this, chances are I am most likely bent over a book trying to slam that information in my head. Now you may notice I have a little bit of a change in quality. I pulled out my DSLR from my garage and I haven't used it in years, and it's a really old Canon Rebel T3i, if anyone was wondering. So it's really great quality. The only problem is it is such an old model that it doesn't like autofocus while I'm recording. It only like, I can only refocus it manually when I stop recording. So periodically you might see me go back and forth between the viewfinder and the lens. It's not because I'm checking myself out, it is because I am just trying to stay in focus for you guys. Okay, so the long-awaited Q&A. I've decided that I'm gonna split up 2 Q&As that I was planning to do together, just because they're kind of all over the place. This one is gonna be about questions that I frequently get about my program and how it works and what exactly it is. Then the next one, I'm gonna be doing questions that people like specifically ask me. So this video, I'm gonna go over like the broad topic of what it is, like what I'm going to school for, and then the next one will be like questions. So anyway, okay, I'm just rambling, I'm sorry. I just had coffee. I rarely ever have coffee. I have it maybe like once every other week, so bear with me. Got my little notepad, even though they're kind of some generic questions that I'm probably gonna go on a tangent on, so this might be a long video, we will see. So I think the question that I get asked the most, hands down, by everyone, random people on TikTok, just in general, is what exactly is a veterinary technician? What is it they do? And then how does it differ from being a veterinarian? Well, the question is more honestly like, what does a veterinary technician not do? We, like I'm one already, they're phlebotomists, they're radiologists, they take x-rays, they do dentals, they do kind of a little bit of everything. I like to relate them like to nurses, like hierarchy wise it goes doctors, nurses, and then like certified nurse's assistant, where it goes veterinarian, vet tech, and then vet assistant. We're kind of everything put together. The 2 major differences between being a vet tech and a veterinarian is to be a veterinarian you have to get a doctorate, of course, because you are a doctor of veterinary medicine. Veterinarians are the only people who can actually diagnose a problem, and then they are also the only ones that can do the surgery. Otherwise it kind of differs. I could be missing something, but those are like the main differences. So if you're really into surgery, if you're really into like diagnosing, if you're really into doing that kind of stuff, then I recommend being a veterinarian. If you're more into the nursing aspect, getting blood, taking x-rays, doing anesthesia, I recommend being a vet tech. And it also varies state by state. I know you don't have to be credentialed in every single state here in the US, but some you do, so I'm just gonna be safe and get credentialed, and I feel like I would be able to learn more anyway, so that's what I am doing. But if you become a licensed vet tech, you are licensed at least everywhere in the US. That's as far as I know. And the second question that I get asked the most is, how do I get in a vet tech school? Well, I feel like I've explained this at least 4 or 5 different times, at least on TikTok, and then a couple times on Instagram, and even a couple times here on YouTube, but it varies, and I feel like I could finally get into it a little bit more. So I guess I'll just tell my side of like what I did personally. I found out that a community college near me, not the one closest to me, but the one somewhat near me, offered to get an associate's in veterinary technology. So you go through that school, you take the VTNE, which is a veterinary technician national exam. You have to pass that in order to become licensed. So that is what I did. I had to take 3 prereqs, which was chemistry, which I had never taken before, a basic biology class, which I already took at my other community college because I transferred, and then I think some like veterinary assisting class. Those were the prereqs. So that's what I had to do. And then in order to get in the program itself, I had to send in an application, write an essay, and then I got in. And like I said, it totally varies. So my answer to you is, do your research. Figure out if you have a community college that offers it, or some kind of technical institute or something like that. I highly recommend, because community colleges are extremely cheap and you get basically the same education as you would at like some like medical institution or something like. However, it is an associate's degree. So if you are dead set on getting your bachelor's in veterinary technology, that's totally okay too. You can go through a university. But if you do have the option, you're not sure if you really want to go through a bachelor's program to get it, highly recommend associate's program. I honestly love my community college because we have our own farm. So I'm able to get like an all-rounded experience on being a veterinary technician. Did I ever think I was gonna take blood from an alpaca? No, I did not. But guess what? Now I know how to take blood from an alpaca. It's awesome. I never thought I would do that. I had never even seen an alpaca until I had school this semester. Yeah, there is just endless amounts of things you can learn. It is so exciting. However, I know that is not an option for some people. So my recommendation to you is if you can do an online program. Penn Foster is probably the most popular one that I have personally heard of. I know there's like San Joaquin, Ashworth. I can't think of all of them on the top of my head, but there's a couple. You can definitely figure out which one suits you better. Cat wanted to come say hi. I don't know if I've ever said his name, but this is Loki. Another really frequent question that I get asked is it hard? Okay, for me, it is difficult because a lot of people asked me what kind of grades I had to get in order to get in the program, like how hard did I have to work, kind of a thing. In high school, I was a straight C student. I did not try at all. I didn't take a single chemistry class. I didn't take a single anatomy class. Honestly, none of that. I did not care at all. I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life. I didn't care really at all. And that goes for most of college as well. Like my attitude was, as long as I passed the class, I do not care. I never cared. I never saw myself going to some big university. I truly, honestly did not care. But coming from my perspective, you guys, it is hard. I am terrible at math. I am terrible at critical thinking, which you unfortunately need a lot of. And I'm not very good at science either. So yeah, and just to put it point blank, I am getting, I can't say I'm a straight A student because I am not, but I have 3 A's and 1 B. 1B. So it really depends on what kind of work you put into it. I've been working my butt off, honestly. This is like my entire life right now. But you get what you put into it. And luckily, this is a field I'm extremely passionate about and I love learning and I love doing things. So I think that motivates me to try even harder and to study and figure it out. Is it hard for me? Yes, it is extremely hard. So yes, I'm not gonna lie to you and say it's easy. It is extremely hard. In fact, I just took a test last week. It was so hard. And it's funny because honestly, a lot of people I talk to literally for some reason would tell me, oh, I'm going into this because I don't want to go into nursing because it's easier. I have nursing friends that are literally learning the same thing as me. I have literally asked my nursing friends to help me with a question and they know how to do it because we're doing almost the same exact thing. Medicine is medicine regardless of what body, regardless of what species. So it is not easier, you guys. If you do not think you could do nursing school because it is hard, this isn't a lot easier. And kind of gearing back to getting into school, a lot of people keep asking me, is there any experience that I need? I literally have someone in my class that has never owned a pet, has never been around a pet, has never worked with animals, and literally no experience, but she's doing great in it. You do not need experience to get in, as far as I'm aware. In my experience, that is not true. You do not need experience. I think as long as you've been around animals and understand them, I think you'll be okay, honestly. I did not need any experience, but does it help? It totally helps, and I highly recommend getting a job at a hospital if you can, just to know that this is right for you. Another thing that I would like to talk about, you guys. So I'm very honest and I'm just gonna give you guys the rundown now because I'm just trying to be completely transparent. It is not a high paying field whatsoever. You definitely have to do your research and I can't give you an exact number because it varies between states. It varies between where you're working, what you're working, if it's like emergency or not. It completely varies, so I can't give you a number. And I feel like that's not talked about a lot. When I got into this program, I knew that I wasn't a high paying field, but then my professors really told us like what we're doing for the pay. And a lot of times it's not worth it. But this is not a job that you go into for the money at all. It is literally a job that you love animals, and that's it. You can get paid really good the more seniority you have, depending on what you do. So take that with a grain of salt. Just make sure you're aware of that. Do your research, figure out exactly if this is what you want. And I knew going into it that this is what I wanted because nothing would make me happier than helping animals. All right, guys, so that is all the questions that I really get asked pretty frequently. Again, my other one, I will get more personal and kind of do less broad questions, just kind of do more nitpicky questions. So if you have any questions that you want me to answer, or even just questions about this field in general, or even just random questions about me, I'm totally okay with doing it. I would love to give you guys some content while I finish up with finals and while I have my 5-week break. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful break and good luck with finals if you are currently doing finals, or if you're, I don't know. Okay, anyway. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.